Gobble gobble, you turkeys. Be prepared to get stuffed with some awesome movie talk. Here on PostGrad Entertainment presents PostGrad Movies Podcast. I'm the Cognitive Gamer.
And I'm Cool Guy. Wow. I didn't see that coming, but I guess I
That's
should.
why I do know it. You told me to do a special Turkey Day, Thanksgiving for those in America. Wait, I guess both would be for people in America. No one else really celebrates the taking of land and eating
and being
lots
thankful
of food.
for it.
I guess. What is Thanksgiving? What is the true meaning of Thanksgiving?
It's to be thankful for what you have.
So in Puerto Rico, do you have Thanksgiving?
Yeah, of course we do.
Wait, why?
Why not?
Is it actually like the American Thanksgiving?
I mean, kind of, but we make it our own, I suppose.
Is it still today?
Yes, it is. It is still today. Puerto Ricans, we really, as a people, we really enjoy stealing everybody else's holidays.
How many holidays do you steal? Do you have like Chinese New Year?
Well, fine. We steal mostly American holidays.
I was gonna say a bunch of Puerto Ricans dressing up like into dragon costumes, I think would be pretty funny.
That would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the year of the snake. Yeah. No. How would you say that in Spanish?
The year of the snake?
Yeah.
El año de la serpiente.
Yeah, but say it like you're celebrating.
El año de la serpiente.
You need to wake the hell up.
I'm really good at celebrations.
Apparently. So yeah, it's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for you, Cool Guy.
Oh, well, what a coincidence, because I'm thankful for you, Cognitive Gamer.
Oh. Okay, what'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? Well, I went to a scientific symposium.
Woo! So what exactly what is that?
It is.
Is that like when you go to the Apple store and you talk to a bunch of the geniuses there?
No, that is probably the farthest removed thing that you can get from a scientific symposium. Okay, so what we do is you go to this area that's been reserved. It was in one of the convention centers. And basically,
it wasn't in a TGIF?
No,
It wasn't just like a table. You're like, yeah, we're getting drunk on science.
No, that's not what it was. So we go there and we have presentations basically all day. They last anywhere from 15 to 45, 30 minutes, stuff like that. And they talk about their research. So basically everything starts with a long name, research paper style name. So these aren't normal PowerPoint presentations. These are actual research paper presentations.
And it's usually like encephalograph of the Tortoise concardus, and then it's just like, this is the mating patterns of a turtle.
Well, yeah, and then they explain their methods, they explain what they found, they explain what they did, and they explain the significance of it, and so on and so forth. And this symposium was on conservation in Puerto Rico. So we talked all about a bunch of different types of species that were in and around and in the process of conservation. So it was cool.
Did you have to present?
No, I didn't present. The head of our group of the Puerto Rican Parrot Conservation Project was the one that actually presented. And we announced, I believe, the symposium was Thursday and Friday, and I went on Friday when we were giving our talk, and he said that yesterday it had been announced that the first wild nest in an actual tree cavity, not a man-made cavity that we make for them to make their egg laying a little bit easier. It was the first one reported in the wild. So for the first time, we have a completely natural, reproducing by themselves.
No, that's big news. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So yeah, and now
Did you start crying?
No, but we got a big round of applause.
I hope so.
They were like, you should stand up, and then we all stood up, and everyone applauded us.
So,
it was.
Did you make some good connections? Did you find some more pretty animals to save?
Oh heck yeah! I might be working with the iguana from one of the islands off Puerto Rico, Mona, and I was talking to one of the premier herpetologists from Puerto Rico to see if I could study with him. Yeah, it was good. It was great networking.
Yeah, that's why you go to symposiums. You can give a crap about research.
Yeah.
It's about talking, and then you get drunk afterwards with a bunch of those people. I'm at that level right now with my advisor where it can be talk like that,
Right.
but he's still like, I still don't know if that's appropriate or not. And then, or he still doesn't know. I think he knows it. Like, I'm totally chill with it, but he doesn't know if he should be professional in front of other professionals with it because he is my advisor. And then I'm working with another cognitive scientist, which I actually got my independent study with him through, which I'm teaming up with my advisor anyway. But essentially, here's what happened. I just met with him to talk about my thesis, and we come up with this cool idea. And he's like, "Cool, let's get drinks and talk about it more." So I went and got drinks with him with my advisor, and we're just talking about like women and stuff. And essentially, it was just like, "Yeah, come into my office Monday. We'll talk about your independent study." Like, fuck yeah,
Nice.
yeah, drinking and talking about women.
Science.
You know, science. Yes. It's really what it comes down to because people forget. Like scientists are not impressed by intelligence because everybody's intelligent. They're impressed by your interpersonal skills because that's something not everybody has.
That's true.
Which is kind of funny because I'm pretty sure some guy working at McDonald's can have so much, but I mean you have both, and then that's why it matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like you have the drive and the talent instead of just the drive or the talent.
Yeah.
And it really matters. Like, have you ever seen American Movie?
American movie? No, I have not.
It's a documentary. You should really watch it. You'd really like it. But it's essentially about this guy who's trying to make a horror movie, and he has a drive. Like, he spends every waking moment and his resources to making this movie. But unfortunately, it's garbage because he doesn't have talent.
Right. Okay. And it's a documentary about him?
Yeah, it's a documentary about him trying to make this movie in this small town.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just interesting because he's kind of slow. Obviously, he's actually like a grave digger. That's his job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and his buddy is damaged from drugs, and they're just an interesting couple. Like not couple because they're not together, but it's just an interesting duo. But I mean, it's just kind of depressing, but it's not depressing because there's that hope there, right?
Right.
So there's that hope that he's gonna make this movie and it'll get big, but you know that he doesn't. So it's really depressing seeing that there's one thing that this guy has always wanted, and just fails and falls to pieces. Kind of like this podcast. But
Garbage. Garbage.
And then also, so this kind of melds into my week because I learned about something.
Oh, really?
Have you ever heard of Chris? I don't know if it's real or not, but it's interesting. His name is Chris Weston Chandler.
No, I have not. Who is Chris Weston Chandler?
He's this kid on the internet, and it is believed that he has high-functioning autism. So it's a type of autism that, like, if somebody tells him something, he automatically believes it to be true because he doesn't
question it.
Right, exactly. So essentially, it's this poor kid that gets like beat up on the internet, but he doesn't know he's getting beat up on the internet. So it's really depressing. You should look it up. But it's like he's getting catfished every day, but he doesn't have the mental capacity to know he's getting catfished.
Right, he just doesn't realize it. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's really sad. And it's not hilarious like Catfish, because Catfish is so funny. Oh my god. That's probably the one MTV show I'm like, this is actually kind of funny. Because it also has some like profoundness and like life lessons in you shouldn't trust people on the internet.
Right.
You just shouldn't. Oh, it's great when he's just talking to this girl on Catfish. Not Chris. I want to get away from him because the story's too depressing. And but like Catfish, and he's like, yeah, I'm talking to this bombshell blonde, whatever. And they come up to him like, we actually found Carissa. Please come with us. We're meeting up with her tomorrow. And she comes out and she's like 300 pounds. Like in your mind, you're like, oh no! It's like, and then they have to ask him questions like, so, is this the person you thought it was? And it's like, no, it's not. And it's like, do you still want to be with them? And the girl, of course, is saying, please stay with me. All the words I said are true, just not my picture. And he's like, I guess. Not that 300-pound women cannot be attractive. It's just getting deceived. and thinking you have something, and then it's not.
Good save.
It's like you're. It's like you're about to bite into an apple to find out it's plastic. 300 pounds of plastic. How did we get up this? So my week, my, my
Go on.
I didn't really. Again, being a grad student kind of sucks, but is awesome at the same time. I had to write my lit reviews due next week, so I've essentially been doing that. And I had this weird thing where I've never written concussion, like papers on concussion or how to write clinical papers.
Mm-hmm.
So I attempted to write an intro for my thing in a clinical style. My advisor was like, "This is garbage." And I was like, "Well, I'll redo it." But I mean, that's if you come to grad school, you have to have the expectation that you're not going to get complimented. No matter who you are, people will tell you your work is shit and you need to do it again.
And it's also it's science. It's science.
That
That's what peer review is. You give it in, and then it gets demolished by everyone else, and you feel horrible about yourself. So you rewrite it, hand it back in, and then it gets demolished again. So you feel horrible again. That's how it works.
Right. I remember in undergrad, my advisor was very adamant in training me for undergrad, which included ripping me to shreds. I remember this one time I was doing my own study, and I was making a condition, and he just walks by and he sees it for like 2 seconds. He's like, "That looks like garbage. You should redo it." And this is after like me working on it for like 5 hours, and I'm like, "Well, I guess we should redo it." He just walks away. Like he just stopped in the door, said that looks like garbage, and left. He didn't say anything else. I was like, oh man. So I redid it.
Oh my god, life in the sciences.
But that's how it is, though. Like there's that expectation your work will be called garbage, and then you have to not be thick-headed enough to accept the changes. You can't be personally insulted, essentially,
Right.
because overall they're trying to help you.
Yeah.
Which, like observing my classmates, they don't understand that quite yet.
Really?
Well, a couple people. I mean, obviously, like one girl essentially broke down because she said that she's doing the paper wrong. But I'm like, then you're doing the paper wrong. You want like this is your advisor. You're working for her. You are not your own person when you're in grad school. Like I would love to do other studies, but at the same time, like actually that's not true because I'm pretty chill. But say if I came in and I really wanted to do this one thing, I didn't have the opportunity to, like that's tough beans for me.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I am working with somebody who does concussions, so guess what? I'm doing concussion work. So
yeah.
Which is not really in my wheelhouse, but whatever. I'm doing pretty well at it. So, what else did I do this week? I got a PS4. I got a PlayStation Quattro.
And he gave me a raving review by saying it is cool.
So how it, man? It's cool. It's chill.
So how's your PS4? It's cool, bro. It's cool.
It turns on and plays games and stuff. It can also stream Netflix, but whatever.
Next gen.
Next gen. It's the chillest. It's so chill, in fact. It has a light on the top that changes colors.
What?
I know, man.
What?
I know. No, anyway, so they're sold out everywhere because I didn't pre-order it because I was like, I'm going to be in grad school. I'm not going to have money for it when it comes out, which is true.
That's
I
true.
didn't. I ended up having to essentially sell my soul. I actually just sold some electronics to afford it.
Came out pretty cheap though, so.
Yeah, well, I have a buddy that works at GameStop. He's not like a guy I'd hang out with outside of GameStop, but like every time I'm around there, I just stop and say hi and we shoot the shit for 30 minutes.
Right.
Because his job sucks. And I came in on Friday, which was the day the Xbone launched, and he was trying to sell me it. I'm like, hey man, I knew some people that were looking for PS4s, and I'm like, hey man, do you have any PS4s? Just out of curiosity. He's like, no, but he like reaches down, puts it up, plops it up. I have an Xbox One. Do you want it? I'm like, no, I don't want it. And for half a second, I was like, I really want it. I really, really want it. But I knew better. I knew better. Even I honestly think Xbox has the better games right now. I really do. But I know in about a year that's going to be completely different. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm like, no, I'm really looking for a PlayStation. Can you look it up? And he was like, nope, no stores have it new. I'm like, how about used? Because I know some idiot traded one in for an Xbox One. There has to be one idiot that decided to get a PlayStation trade out for a week and then instead of selling it on eBay like a sane person, traded it into GameStop.
I know, right? Who would even?
And somebody did. It was in New Jersey. So I ended up driving to New Jersey. I took Cynic with me. It was a fun little trip. And yeah, I sold my soul for a PlayStation, which is sad because I don't see myself really playing it for foreseeable future for some time, which really sucks. But next weekend, I'll probably play it a lot next weekend because I'm coming back. So it's Thanksgiving right now, and I'm going to Connecticut.
Right.
In Connecticut.
One of the above.
And I have to come back Friday night because I want to avoid traffic, and I also have to go to the lab to do a bunch of work.
You also have to go Black Friday shopping.
Well, I'll be doing that in Connecticut because I would never do that in the city. Holy crap! Black Friday shopping around here sounds like a bloodbath, like a bloodbath.
People get dead.
There's yes, like because I live in the city. Most of the like bigger stores are outside the perimeter of the city, which is where I'm located. So there's a Target right outside the city, which would be probably where I would go. But other than that, you have one Walmart, you have one Best Buy in like a 20-mile radius, and then there's a mall, King of Prussia, one of the biggest malls in America.
So basically what you're saying is that all of these places, since there's only one of them,
people have died shopping at King of Prussia. People have gotten trampled to death at the King of Prussia Mall on Black Friday shopping. Hell to the no. I'm not going there. Besides, that's disgusting, really. If you think about it, that somebody's actually died in consequence of cheap consumer goods. But we're not getting onto that. We're avoiding depression today.
Exactly. Oh, speaking of that, you want to know something funny?
Yes.
So when I was working today in the field on one of our downtimes, I decided, we started talking about stuff, all of us, and our podcast came up, and I told them about the podcast, and they started listening to it.
Wait, people listen to this?
The scientists the scientists that were with me started listening to it, and they were the whole time they were like, "Hey." When I started laughing in one of the podcasts, they were like, fake laugh, They think my laugh is fake. They think I am just humoring you.
Are you sure my laugh sounds way more fake than your laugh?
Your laugh does sound really fake, especially when you laugh really loud. You're like,
Especially when it's recorded. But it's not. I just sound like a jolly Latino Santa.
So yeah. They think my laugh is fake, and they think I artificially lower my voice just to talk in the podcast.
Sometimes I do that. Like right now, it's because it's in the morning. But sometimes, especially when I'm recording video game commentary, especially when you're playing Call of Duty, because people will automatically assume you're 14 years old. And my voice sounds like I'm 14 years old.
It does. Your voice does.
When I'm recorded. But in real life, I have the deepest voice. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get electronics. Do you know how I can avoid this?
No.
To tell.
No, there's no way.
So yeah, I'll be Black Friday shopping in Connecticut, which sounds way better. Yeah, have you ever been Black Friday shopping in Puerto Rico? I know you went with me that one year, and you were like, "This is crazy." You haven't seen that.
Yeah,
actually, you went to Walmart with me.
I went to Walmart.
That was insane.
That was hilarious.
Oh my god! The fact that some random person ran in and like tackled the display, and then everybody just jumped down to get everything that was on that display was classic. That was wonderful.
I saw it almost like a Lord of the Rings type of thing,
It was like Helm's Deep.
It was exactly like Helm's Deep because
Yeah.
they were all of a sudden it was all normal. They were talking, hanging out, like the moment before a war, and then as soon as something, the buzzer went off or the little air horn or whatever it was.
No. What happened was it was 15 minutes till whenever the sale started. I think it was 10, and it was 15 minutes beforehand. And somebody at our display decided to be a jerk and just tackle into it, which then
Oh,
caused a chain reaction of everybody to just start grabbing everything before the sale happened, which then caused another chain reaction because people then saw us grabbing things, so people just went for their displays, and
right.
it just turned into a madhouse 15 minutes before the sale should have started.
Right, there's no controlling that as soon as it gets started. So
Yeah, but what do? Like, it's not like you can break that up. I mean,
no,
there's hundreds of people there that
no,
are grabbing goods. If everybody decided to start shopping early, they can start shopping early. It's not like there's a lot of break what time the sale happens.
yeah, there's no way. There really is no way.
Oh my god. Though you can get if it's only one person trying to do this, you can get kicked out. But the fact that it was everybody was different.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not gonna brave this storm.
yeah, the year before they had a security guard, and like this girl was trying to like sneak things out of the display, and the security guard saw it and like grabbed her and like kicked her out of Walmart. And then she came back like a little later.
Oh God, Walmart.
That was crazy. Oh man, Black Friday shopping's great. Yeah, my cousin really wants to go, so I'll probably go with her.
Don't get her killed.
Yeah, I'll try not to. What else did I do this week?
You watched Hunger Games.
I did watch Hunger Games. Dun, catching fire.
So with that, I suppose we'll move on to theaters. Three fingers in salute.
Is that how does the song go? You should play the song right now. I really want that as a ringtone now.
That's a great ringtone, yeah.
Mm. Or like a text tone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
That would get annoying after a while. But I would love to just have it on and then be like walking in public, and then that goes off, and then somebody just looks at me and gives me the 3-finger salute. And I'll be like, yeah. It's like in a Fantastic Mr. Fox when he sees the wolf or whatever, and he just raises his fist, and the wolf raises his fist.
That was that was one of the most.
That was like the best in that movie.
That was like totally out of left field, and it was so funny. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting the wolf to raise his fist too. That was so funny.
It was like on all fours, and it just didn't look natural. Because it like went.
God, that was hilarious.
So catching fire. Did it set your feelings ablaze? Did it hit the mark with her arrow? Was it?
I don't even know what arrow was supposed to be.
Odds in its favor? Were you stuffed after so much Hunger Games? I don't know where I'm going with this.
So IMDb gives it an 8.3 rating. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 89 with a 90% top critic score. And Metacritic puts it at 75%. It is directed by Francis Lawrence. It stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Donald Sutherland, Elizabeth Banks, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, among other people. So, one sentence review. Go.
If you like the book or the last movie, you're gonna like this one. And by this one, oh god damn it. I just saw the Hunger Games Mockingjay.
Yeah.
2 parts.
Yeah, it is. It's 2 parts.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably needed, but where are they going to stop that movie?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. So my one sentence review is
Yes.
My one sentence review is
it's not Twilight.
It's not
but it's sort of Twilight.
It's sort of I don't know. I will say it is exciting, dark, and gripping. So watch it.
Did it make you quiver with excitement?
We're done. That was legitimately the last one.
Hold on, I'm laughing.
I say we're done because that was actually a really impressive one, and I will let you know that.
Oh.
I love how it isn't that I have to tell you how you say it, and then you start laughing so much because you realize it was such a good pun that you're laughing at it yourself.
I'm not laughing at the pun. I'm laughing at you telling me to stop. And that was so perfect. That was great timing. Your comedic timing was spot on. Um, so Catching Fire is about kids that kill other kids and
Oh
and
god.
bloody murder.
Right. But
Yeah, let's go.
honestly, the most important question that the film asks, which I think resonates with everyone, and I want you to answer it to see if you have a specific answer.
Okay.
It is PETA or Gale?
Am I Team Gale or Jacob? Let's see here.
No, Jacob pales in comparison.
Jacob would be Gale. No, Jacob would be Gale, and
Totally.
we all know Edward would be PETA. So I don't know. You feel bad for both of them because I've read the books, right? And I know Katniss is a complete jerk.
Katniss is a jerk face.
I hate her. She's the worst protagonist ever.
But see, it's good because the way that Jennifer Lawrence plays Katniss is different from the Katniss in the book, and I like that.
I know, which kind of bugs me, but kind of doesn't, because she kind of hits both. Her love is very circumstantial.
It is.
And in the books, it's very cold and actually very much circumstantial in the fact that it's more about if it's convenient for Katniss.
Right.
While in the movies, it's more like, hey, you're here, and I have feelings for you, and then she's in the games and she's like, oh wait, but I'm here with you now, so let's get it on.
Yeah, it's like I need you. You know, it's the fact that she needs someone there to support her, and that support is turned into love.
Exactly. And I mean, so it's a little more tender in the movies, which kind of maybe that's why they're splitting up Mockingjay, so they can actually be like, man, Katniss, you suck. But like, I hated Katniss in the third movie or the third book. But we're not gonna get. Well, yeah, because she just. Yeah. Okay. Catching Fire. What were we talking about?
You didn't answer.
I like pita chips. So
I completely agree.
That's my nickname for him.
Pita chips.
So my nickname is Pita Chips. Like if I was to date him, or if Katniss was to date him, I would really hope that she calls him Pita Chips. Hey, Pita Chips. Hey, Katniss. Or Catnip. Which, by the way, how do they know catnip exists but not pita chips?
I don't know.
I guess catnip grows wild, so maybe that's why. Well, I mean, they're in the woods a lot.
Yeah, I'm also Team PETA. Mostly because of the fact that Gale just seems like a pretentious douche.
Just because he's a Hemsworth. Come on, you saw Thor, and Chris is just like, "What up? I'm here." Oh God, it's like a male showing up for pornography. Just like what? Let's get filming. I'm here to look impressive.
Dropping trow. So
that's what. Okay, we're going back to Thor for 2 seconds. Scene where he's shirtless for like a good 3 minutes.
Totally.
It was totally just because he was shirtless for 3 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah.
The whole point of that scene was that he was shirtless.
Exactly. Yep. That scene was completely unnecessary in the rest of the movie.
Wow.
Could have done without it.
Could have done without it. I think it's because it just made you uncomfortable in the feeling that you had.
So I was with my scientist people group, and when I went to see it the second time, and it was actually no, sorry, this was the first time. There were people next to me, a bunch of little girls, and
nice.
And they decided to all get fangirly when he was without a shirt, and then it was hilarious because when he walks towards the balcony.
Yeah, and he turns around dramatically.
Right, and then he's holding his hands out or whatever, and then all of a sudden from right next to me, I hear one of them say, "His arms aren't even touching his sides. How's that natural?"
He's so buff. He outbuffed himself.
Oh,
no, he lost a lot of weight. I mean, that's what he talked about. He's like, I hate this role. I want to be done with it because I have to lose weight. Like, you go.
Oh, man.
You go, sir.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, Jennifer Lawrence did not lose any weight. Which people are like, yay, go for her. But I'm like, everybody else in that movie had to go through extensive training. and like diets and everything to be in this movie. And
Right.
Jennifer Lawrence did it, and I'm like, why? I mean, she had to go through the training and stuff, but I don't know.
Right.
I think she's just fit. I think she got fit, but she did not lose weight, which I think kind of goes against the character of Katniss. But then we're getting into the whole, female. Like, I wouldn't say it's because for her to look attractive or I find skinny girls attractive because that's untrue. It's because Katniss is supposed to be impoverished.
That's
like,
true. Yeah. Katniss is
But then
supposed
again,
to
this is
be.
a year afterwards, after a year of eating, so maybe that's different. But then at the same time, why did Peeta lose weight?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird stuff like that, especially when you're trying to match the book.
Yeah.
It makes it tough. So
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Not Peeta. Katniss is supposed to be a skinny, malnourished girl. That's how it's
it's
supposed to
kind of ugly, but not like too ugly. But she's like super normal, and Jennifer Lawrence is not normal looking. Like she is beautiful. So
But she's not conventional pretty. You know what I mean?
I think she is.
I don't think so.
She's not Hollywood pretty. She's not like.
That's what I mean.
But I mean like for everybody's stand, she is very pretty. Like she is very beautiful, and go her. She's a very independent woman, and that's great. But Katniss is supposed to be even more plain. Like you're supposed to be like, whatever, and that's the whole point.
That's true.
The whole point is that this like very normal, plain girl is thrown into circumstances she has no control over, and it's about how this world is operating around her. Like it's all about her, but she doesn't know it's about her, which then makes her very bitter.
Right.
So yeah. And then that's what Catching Fire was, right? It was this whole meta of the fact that there's spoilers. By the way, are you gonna?
They
are you
know
gonna cut
that.
the spoil?
No,
Are you gonna put this? Are you gonna cut the spoiler alert here?
No.
Spoiler. No.
They know that. They know spoilers.
They know spoiler. Okay, so the whole like that's what Catching Fire was. There's that whole meta going on right now. That the fact like meta story that Katniss is trying to just survive, but then there's this weird subplot going around her of there's this revolution on the rise that people are trying to overthrow President Snow, and like you don't really get that until the end if you haven't read the books. But if you have read the books, it's like okay, I know what's happening here. And I thought they did that very well. I think that visually they displayed the fact that she didn't really know what was going on very well. If albeit some intentionally manipulative scenes, like when the game master, whatever his name is, I always forget his name. What is it?
Plutarch, Malark, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, when he like essentially looks malicious towards Jennifer Lawrence in that dancing scene, when really in fact he's trying to tell her
Right.
part of, which is kind of like the book, but at the same time it kind of missed the part when he like flashes the Mockingjay pin.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know, like it was kind of manipulative in that sense because I hate when movies do that. Like we'll get to that with Flypaper, by the way. But I mean, they did what they have to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. However, I did think that this movie was way better than the original one, than the first one.
I really see. I like the tone of the first one more, but I hated the shaky cam. It was too much shaky cam. Like I watched it again, and I'm like, good God.
Oh God.
The very beginning, where it's just like in town, and it's just like the thing is like being held by somebody with Parkinson's. Like it's really bad, and I don't know. I like the tone that it sets, but it looks like the whole movie's in an earthquake for the first half an hour.
That's true. Yeah.
But the second one does still have shaky cam, it's just not as bad.
Right.
Like it's more like to give you the feeling that you're on a train or the feeling that you're walking, but it's not kind of documentary running around style.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I think I agree. I believe it was better. It was a better movie than the first one. It wasn't as pretty as the first one.
Really?
Some scenes. I don't know.
I thought it was.
I like the setting of the tropics better, but I feel like actual scenes in the town were more well done. I feel
That's true.
in District 12, but in the games itself, completely different story.
That's
But
true.
I mean, and then what do you think of the action scenes? I thought it was actually pretty piss poor compared to the first one.
Which action scenes?
Like the ones where they're killing each other in the arena that are from like person on person. Because the ones with the environment were pretty well done.
That's true.
But when it was actually like person to person, it was garbage.
How so?
Just the fact that like it's almost like he didn't know how to shoot it because I mean it's children killing children, so that's probably one really hard to do. but it didn't have that sense of brutality that the first one carried. Because in the first one, that scene when they're running towards the cornucopia and there's no sound whatsoever, and you just see like blood being spattered, that was really well done.
That's true.
And it gave you the horrifying sense that these are kids murdering other kids. Well, in this one, it was kind of like it was a lot of off screen. Like the guy dies underwater,
Right.
the grandma disappears into the mist. I think the only one that was actually on screen that was slightly horrifying was when the drug addict was
Oh yeah.
had her out by a monkey.
Well,
Baboon.
well, because remember the point of this one wasn't the fighting so much as the actual plot. So
I know, it still should push the fact that these are kids murdering kids. Like it's still.
But they aren't kids. They're victors. They're victors. They're older.
Some of them are kids.
They're 20-something years old.
Okay, well, even still, 20-something years old, stabbing each other through the heart with a sword is still brutal. I don't know. It like the whole scene when they're at the cornucopia again, and then the careers pop up. It was just really lame.
Yeah, but
other than that, it was a really good movie. So, not that I'm saying, yeah, kids go kill kids, and that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying it missed the opportunity to create tension. It just missed the opportunity to create tension.
See, the thing is, I think here's my 2 cents. I think the reason why it didn't do that was because Katniss herself as a character was numb to the whole idea of it. She felt upset and stuff like that, and her dresser person had just gotten beat up and taken away, and probably to be executed or killed, as far as she knew.
This is the one in like the middle of the movie I'm talking about, when they go back to the cornucopia and they realize it's a clock.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter. This is the idea that she's already pretty numb to the violence and numb to the pain, all of it. So it doesn't.
She still shot people, like.
Well, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is that she's numb to it. She doesn't feel it as much. It doesn't have as much of an impact on her. So it didn't need to be filmed that way.
I'm thinking it was.
Because remember
an intentional choice, but then again, if we look at something like I Am Legend, that also had the same problem. So.
Yeah, well, I Am Legend was directed by the same guy, so.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I'm saying it. I mean, Constantine
was awesome.
Yeah, and it didn't really have too many like fighting scenes.
No, but the ones that did were phenomenal.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah. But I still think that, remember, the book is
it's a kids movie that's not a kids movie, and I think that's really what it comes down to.
Remember, the book is written in first person, so the way it's filmed is not supposed to be for the audience. It's supposed to be so that the audience feels the way Katniss feels.
Yeah, but Katniss would also see the brutality no matter what, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I don't think so.
I think it's honestly because they didn't want to show it on screen because they didn't want to rated R. Because I mean, if you showed it on screen, you'd get a rating R. It also could have been, or even like try to alienate some audience, because if it's PG-13. Which is still pretty innocent, but even for this is a children's book, like it's a juvenile fiction, so we're talking about 13-year-olds, right?
Yeah, young adult.
So if you make it too brutal, then the parents won't let them see it,
right?
And I know the first movie some people thought was a little too violent, like a little too disturbing, especially with like the blood splatter and stuff. So I mean, I think it was just them playing safe.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? It's a movie about children killing children. You can't be like, nope, too violent. No, that's bullcrap.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a children's, like, Harry Potter could have been rated R, but they didn't make it rated R, So, actually, Harry Potter probably would not be rated R. Also, it's tough. You have to walk that line, right? Because it's a juvenile fiction.
It's young adult fiction. It's not for little kids.
For 13-year-olds. Which, I mean, probably play Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. But Call of Duty is the same problem. But we're not getting into that. Yeah. I don't know. It's fine. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying they played it safe in a few scenes because of probably keeping the PG-13 and trying to keep it more kid-like. Besides, it's more about the plot and the story, which was very well done. And the dialogue was very well written. And I also like how they called back to mahogany. That was my favorite line from the first movie. That is mahogany.
I want to mention really quickly the actress Elizabeth Banks that plays Effie outdid herself.
Oh, she's so good.
She outdid herself. She's supporting cast, but she was good.
Elizabeth Banks was just good.
She was so good. It really impressed me, especially that scene when she was saying goodbye to Peeta and Katniss. It was
Yeah.
so real. It made me really, really sad. It got to me. That scene got to me.
Oh my God, she's in the Lego movie.
God, no, no, no. We're not bringing that in right now.
She's also in Pitch Perfect, so there's that.
But yeah, I thought that.
No, I actually like her as an actress. So.
Yeah, she's a great actress, but I really thought that she captured the character of Effie really well from the book itself, and she managed to translate it really well as well, because you could see that she was trying to keep up the the capital or District 1 mask charade type of thing, while at the same time seeing what was going on around her with her favorite people, and feeling emotions towards them. And
like she gets it.
Yeah, she does. Right. And she finally reached her breaking point when she was saying goodbye to them, and it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, she did. I think Elizabeth Banks has a very good future in front of her. Yeah. The Lego Movie, The Walk of Shame, Love and Mercy, Every Secret Thing, Little Accidents, The Big Shoe, and Pitch Perfect 2. So I mean,
right.
She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies next year. That's crazy. That's insanity.
That's true.
Insanity. In a world where Elizabeth Banks is in every movie. Well, anyway, what should we move on to now?
I think we should say what we think about the movie, if you should go see it or whatnot. I think you should go see it.
Yeah. Then again, like, I don't think it's necessary to watch in theaters. Like, you can, if you're a big fan of the movie, and this will be a movie people will talk about because everybody's going to see it. Right. So if you don't mind being out of the loop for a while, you can watch it on DVD. But then again, just go see it. Like, it's a really good movie, and Thanksgiving's coming out. So essentially, you have 3 movie choices for Thanksgiving, right? You have Frozen, which is perfect if you have little kids or you're me and gush over princess movies. Of course. And I've already seen Catching Fire. You have Catching Fire, which is good if you have a teenager because they'll probably be all over it, and it's actually a good movie.
Right.
Or you have probably something rated R.
Oldboy.
So, is Oldboy coming out this week?
Yes, it is.
Then you have Oldboy if you're a mature person and you want to watch brutal action. Boom! You have your 3 movies for the holiday, depending on how old you are or whatever you want to see, really.
Exactly.
You have Grit, and Princess.
Yep. So yeah, I agree. Oh, but you know what I thought was really funny? When the movie started and they had the cornucopia scene and they all ran into the forest. Those first couple shots in the forest, I had to double take, because all I could think was, I've been in forests like that. That's where I work.
Yeah.
And I was looking at everything and they were running through that, and I'm like, where was this filmed? Is all I was thinking. I was wondering where they were filming, and then they had the shots on the beach and stuff like that, and I thought, I know places that look exactly like that. And all I could think was, man, if they really wanted to go for not using special effects, they could totally have just come to Puerto Rico and filmed everything here, because that is exactly what it looks like.
What did they do? Where did they film?
It was probably a lot of special effects with the actual environment, especially when the mist was coming up. But I'm pretty sure they also built sets, because those look like sets.
They doubled the budget from the last one.
Well,
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you can definitely tell.
Yeah,
you can definitely tell.
What do you think about people calling Catching Fire the Hunger Games equivalent of The Empire Strikes Back?
In what sense?
As in, it's the second movie that was better than the original one.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
And that it made everything.
I think they're both very good movies, though.
Right. I mean, the first one, A New Hope, was a great movie.
Yeah.
But they're comparing it to Empire Strikes Back because it got darker. It had the cliffhanger ending ish.
They had to rip open a tauntaun and sleep inside of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Stuff like that.
No, I get why people thought that. All right, let's move on to Fly Paper. Let me get my notes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't. Good God. Just good God.
Okay. So for everyone that is not in the know, today we will start with the Netflix movie spotlight, totally not sponsored by Netflix yet. And the movie today is Flypaper. And this movie has an interesting little tidbit of history to it.
No, it doesn't.
because this is a movie that was recommended to us, whether it was for torture or for glee from the person that gave it to us, but they emailed us and they said that we should watch it. And that is what I was referring to last week when I said that the cognitive gamer will answer back to you snarkily. And he originally said that he didn't want to see it, but he said that I should pick the Netflix movie spotlight. And then I said Flypaper, and he got really mad, but then he watched it. So we're doing Flypaper. It's on IMDb. It's got a 6.3 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 17% with a 10% top critic score. On Metacritic, it's got a 37%. It is directed by Rob Minkoff, and it stars Patrick Dempsey, Ashley Judd, Jeffrey Tambor, and a bunch of other people that I'm not going to name.
Giving credit where credit is due.
So, yeah, how's about we get started? Give the one sentence description that is definitely going to be scathing and probably really funny, and I'm going to laugh at it. Go ahead.
Don't watch it. If you have any respect for yourself, it is garbage. It is utter and complete garbage. It promises something good and it just devolves into utter. It really shows you what a good movie is by being so bad and so irrelevant and so it's bad. It's just bad. It's so.
I'm cutting you off at 7 sentences. We're done.
I don't even know how to describe it. That's honestly like.
I don't know how to describe it either. Let me see. My one sentence.
Which does not mean it's a good movie. Just because I don't know how to say it. I know why it's a bad movie, but it's so hard to, in one sentence, to sum up why it's a bad movie because there's so many things wrong with it.
Okay, so my one sentence description would be contrived, convoluted, trying to be funny, but ultimately failing.
The director of Lion King should have been trampled by a stampede of
wildebeests.
It's true, though.
Let's get talking about Flypaper. Okay, first off, I want to mention the fact that I noticed that this movie was, or at least some scenes or some shots from this movie were filmed on a DSLR, on an actual DSLR camera. And it is because when they had those panning scenes where it was pointing to one actor and then all of a sudden it went to another actor, just straight sideways, it tends to do this really weird warping, like diagonal warping of lines. So you notice that the lines kind of like bend diagonally, and that's how you can tell that it's a DSLR. And it had a couple of shots where it spun around that happened, and I was thinking, you would think that a director would know not to use DSLRs if he's doing weird pans that are that fast. If he's doing comedy style pans or Wes Anderson style pans, you don't want to do that because you're going to be able to tell that it's a DSLR. And and it's going to warp the scene. You don't want it to warp the scene. You want all the lines to be straight down as opposed to diagonal when you're moving, even if there's motion blur. So,
which he can make great animated movies. We know that. He's proven that. But he tried to make a real life movie like an animated movie, and it just failed miserably.
Well, I mean, he also directed the 2 Stuart Littles and Forbidden Kingdom,
which essentially were animated movies.
I really enjoyed Forbidden Kingdom. It got a lot of flack, but I enjoyed it.
Which one was the Forbidden Kingdom?
Forbidden Kingdom was the one with all.
Doesn't matter. Just kidding.
It was the one with all of the martial arts people. So Jackie Chan being the drunken guy. Yeah.
It was the tail of the monkey.
Exactly. Correct. Yes. Monkey King.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
I enjoyed that movie.
But then again, it was cartoony.
Definitely it was. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, but it was that actually fit with the cartoony feel. Right. God, this movie. Okay, where do you want to start? I'll read out my notes. Here are my feelings during this movie. In the intro sequence, the money is becoming. They kind of look like dollar swastikas when they come on.
They do. They did.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, was that on purpose?
I have no idea.
Number 2, this guy's a real douchebag for wearing sunglasses inside of a bank and asking for nickels. God. and I really wish he went for a Nickelback joke.
Ah, God.
The dialogue is fucking terrible. It is making me want to rip out my ears, but then I would still have to watch the movie. So I probably should elect for probably just decapitation.
Holy God.
Magic vault opening wand? What the fuck? Why couldn't you just use that same wand on the big door? That makes no sense. The medication gag was actually kind of funny, and probably the only time I'll laugh at this movie because of something it did and said. The Australian guy looks like a knockoff Colin Farrell, which is kind of like this entire movie, cheap and an allusion to something good.
I agree. He totally looked like Colin Farrell. Totally. He had me going there.
Are the rednecks homosexual? That's cool, I guess. The dialogue is so stupid. It tried to be like Woody Allen, but it just failed, especially the part where he says fucking bubble. That whole scene was trying to be like Woody Allen, and it just failed miserably.
It was.
Predictable as fuck. Yeah. Was that a Lion King reference from the guy who directed The Lion King?
Wait, when? When?
The Australian guy says Hakuna Matata, motherfucker.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yep. So the title in the movie, giving up now. I think I'm gonna go whack my head against the wall until it's over. I may also read some psychology textbooks for fun, because that would be more worthwhile. Yep. That sums up my distaste for it. It was bad. It was really, really bad.
Okay, so I'm going to note a couple things that I noticed from a filmmaking perspective.
Okay.
Number one, the shooting, when they had the big shootout, they were shooting, and the gun shooting special effects were not
terrible.
They were not in line with the way they were shooting. The way the people were actually shooting, like the recoil, it was not in line. You could at least make it in line.
Yeah. Man, I feel like after he was done filming, or like halfway filming, he realized it was a bad movie, and he just tried to rush it out the door, which would probably be a smart thing to do.
Yeah. So also the voiceover, the ADR for the people that had the masks on, it didn't line up with the way that they were talking. Did you notice that too?
I knew that something was off, but I didn't care enough to wonder why.
Yeah, so they were talking, and it just didn't line up with their head motions and the way they were pointing. Ugh. Yeah. And I also noticed that this was really funny. This is actually a blooper. I noticed in the end when they were putting all of the wedding presents in the back of the car.
Yeah.
They put all the presents, and then one of the officers like walks over to the back, and one of the presents doesn't fit. So he's trying to put it right, kind of jostle it in place, and then all of the other officers are leaving, and he kind of goes like, oh, like he freaks out a little bit, and he just grabs the present and takes it with him, and he just kind of like puts on this fake smile and walks past the camera. You don't see the present because he like hides it under the camera's view, but he still takes the present because he can't fit it into the position that it needs to be. Which
That's hilarious. Why would you even keep that shot?
I went back. I think they might have not noticed it. I went back. I thought.
You think the actor was just kind of like, I still have this gift.
I think what was going on was the actor, the extra or the stand-in or whatever, went like, "Oh, okay, here we go, putting it in, go, oh god, play it cool, man, play it cool."
Oh god.
Oh god.
So let's summarize this movie a little bit. So it's about a bank robbery that runs into another bank robbery in midst of another bank robbery in midst of a murder,
which I think was a really clever idea, the way that they brought both people together. No. As from a purely plot point of view, the synopsis sounds good.
Yeah.
And I think, and in the beginning when they both run into each other, that was really funny when they were like, "We're robbing the bank." No, we're robbing the bank, and I'm like, "Oh, this is funny. This is cool." I like.
But it's not funny because it displayed itself as funny. It's because the circumstance is funny.
Exactly.
It's a good premise.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he scribbled it down. Like he woke up in the middle of the night and was like, "Oh my god, I have an idea," and decided to capitalize on it and didn't run it past anybody, and it was bad because it made zero sense. Okay, I can get the two bank robbers running into each other. That's actually kind of funny. But then why in the world would you throw it in the middle of a murder and another bank robbery? That's just making it convoluted. It's stupid.
Well, okay, so the reason why it was happening, the murders were happening, is because the number one bank robber in the world or whatever, he had actually spread the word that this bank was having a security overhaul, which would mean that all of the systems were going to be shut down for a given period of time and they could all steal it. He sent that word over to
No, I get
to everyone that he knew, and then he just started killing people. That's the point.
No, I understand the plot. Like, I understand why it happened in the universe of the movie. I just don't understand why you would ever film that, because you have to say to yourself, that's really stupid. Like, I think it's a funny enough circumstance that you have a bank robber trying to rob a bank at the same time as another person. Now, I probably wouldn't have chose the rednecks just because I didn't find them funny at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's a funny circumstance that you can definitely capitalize upon and actually make a pretty good movie.
yeah, make it like a buddy cop kind of comedy.
Or even if you made it even more dramatic, like that would have been pretty good. But they elected not to.
Yeah,
and
because
they
it,
made
yeah,
garbage.
because it started off in the beginning as a friendly comedy, even when the bank was being robbed.
Hmm.
But then it turned into about a third of the way, and it turned into a murder mystery.
Yeah.
So it really shifted gears.
It didn't know what it wanted to be. And I think that was the point that they were going for, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a bad movie. You shouldn't see it. It's garbage.
Though one thing that I found that was really funny is that all of the critics that rate the movie rate it bad, but the users tend to rate it a lot better. Just normal people tend to rate it a heck of a lot better.
Because normal people will approach that movie and be like, this is an interesting concept. That's kind of funny. I love homophobia. Like, I can understand. Like, there's certain. It's going to sound insulting, and I'm trying not to make it sound insulting.
There are certain people that are stupid.
Yes.
Okay.
And will totally think that movie was good because it had the visage that it was complex. It displayed itself as intelligent, but in actuality, it wasn't. It was. It's like the kid that writes a really good personal statement for himself, and then he asks his teacher to send a letter of reference, and the letter of reference looks over the personal statement and is like, this kid's lying. He's a moron. But if you just got that personal statement, you're like, this kid's a genius, and look at all this experience, and then you get that personal statement, you're like, oh God, no, it's not.
Right.
So,
but at the same time, it's a movie that had a lot of potential. It could have been a great
totally.
movie.
I agree with that.
It could have been a great movie.
I mean,
I
think it had an interesting premise, and I like some of the actors, but overall, it was.
Well, see, I think it could have been a great movie because Patrick Dempsey is a great actor. He is a really good actor. And he definitely could have.
He did a good job.
He could have played that part well because he did play that part well. He played the part of the kind of crazy, quirky guy. He played it really well. He did. And I think that if they would have capitalized on him and Ashley Judd together, have it be them two with the supporting cast of everybody else trapped in there, along with the antics of both robbers comparing professional to non-professionalism a little bit more, as they were trying to do in the beginning, without having the murder interspersed in between, it would have been a better movie.
Right. No, it was nonsensical. It just didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah, I completely agree. Though I think one of the parts that I found really funny that got me was when Ashley Judd kisses Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, that was kind of funny.
And she goes like, "Did it help?" And then he just goes like, "No, because now I have to think about that." And he just starts freaking out. That was really funny.
That was funny. The part where he asked for medication to everybody lists off their medication. That was funny. But that was it. Like, oh God. It was. Oh. I laughed more at Medea movies.
Oh God.
Yeah. I actually kind of like Medea.
I don't like Medea movies. They are awful. I don't laugh at all in Medea movies.
I think it's bad. It's good in the sense it's like watching Maury. That's what it's like. That's why I like Medea movies.
Ugh.
Because it's like all this family drama that doesn't even like link together. I don't know. The one time I saw a Medea movie, I was like, this isn't complete garbage. Which I guess is a compliment. Well, Flypaper, I went in thinking it would be complete garbage. It was complete garbage. But it definitely has the visage of it being intelligent or a good movie. Which I can understand why it might fool some people. It's like when somebody comes in with a degree and you're like, oh, he has a degree. And then you realize it's like printed on computer paper and says from Guatemala. So.
Well, yeah. I went into this movie without any preconceptions, and I came out of it. I mean, I don't think it was total and complete crap, but it definitely was not. It definitely was not good.
It was shit.
It
It was
was
the vomit that shit makes.
it was it was a
It's like Guy Fieri's
it,
cooking. It's
it,
complete shit.
it was a movie that you could sit through and
Nope.
just kind of have it be there, or a movie that you could have playing in the background. It really doesn't matter. The movie is inconsequential. It doesn't give you anything, but it also doesn't take anything away. I mean,
Nope.
I don't think it was total garbage, but it was pretty
Garbage.
not good.
It was pretty not good.
It was-
That should be on the box. Flypaper. Pretty not good.
PostGrad
Not
movies.
complete utter garbage.
So yes, do you agree?
Plum.
Do you agree with the IMDb
Yes.
6.3, with the Rotten Tomatoes
Nope,
17,
that's too high.
with the Rotten Tomatoes 17 or
Nope,
10,
too high.
or with the Metacritic 37?
Should be lower.
What do you think?
5.
Really? You put it Last Airbender bad?
Oh yes. It was
Really?
probably just as bad as Last Airbender.
No. No way.
No, Last Airbender at least had good special effects.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't
Oh
matter.
my.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Hey, Cognitive Gamer, the Earth King has invited you to Lake Laogai.
I love that scene where they're walking down the hill and it looks like a 5th grader shot it. Oh, that's probably my favorite scene of Avatar because it just shows how garbage it is.
Oh god, it is garbage. So yes, I think
Okay, it's probably a little more witty than Airbender, so maybe an 8. Is that better?
I think it is not as low as the Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't think it's a 17. I think it might be like a 20 or a 25, maybe. But it's still down there. Yeah.
So irrelevant. Like, I don't know. If by the end of the movie I want it to stop, that's not a good sign because I can sit through garbage. So
No, you
I
can't. You can sit through garbage because it's funny and you find it funny. You can't sit
No,
through
but that
actual
looks
garbage.
good in my eyes. Then that's what I'm saying. Actual garbage, I cannot sit through. Like, I cannot get through an episode of Honey Boo Boo, and so I would probably say this is on par with Honey Boo Boo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you have it. I guess now we're
on par with Honey Boo Boo.
So I guess now we're moving on to new on DVD and Blu-ray, which we have Jobs, Getaway, and the 5th and final season of Breaking Bad.
That's not a movie.
Well, I figured this since we talked about it in that one episode. I figured we would talk about it now. So yeah, Jobs.
Which you find on YouTube.
What happened on YouTube? What?
You'd find the episode that we talk about Breaking Bad on YouTube.
Yes, that's true. It was episode number 2. So yes, Jobs is the one with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, it's not the Jennifer Love Hewitt show?
No, because then it would say hand in the beginning. So
oh god.
So yeah, The Getaway is the one that has that really crappy male lead and Selena Gomez in a car.
Oh.
Yeah, that movie looked awful. That movie looked.
Who's that really crappy male lead?
I don't know. I don't remember his name. I mean, I get pictures of it in my head because I saw the trailer so many times. But then I the more I think about it, the more I want to kill myself. So I decided not to.
I just think of the scene where Selena Gomez pretends to be homeless, but then she looks beautiful, like she has like makeup on, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Really launched her acting career to new heights.
So,
we're assholes. Did you know that? We're pretentious douchebags.
The movie was crap. The movie was. I mean, I haven't seen it.
We don't even know. We haven't seen it.
I
we
haven't
have to watch
seen it, but
it's probably on Netflix. Probably right next
Nope.
to Flypaper and movies that'll make you vomit.
So anyway, new to theaters, we have Frozen, Oldboy,
Yeah.
Mandela: The Long Walk to Freedom in limited release,
Mandela.
and Homefront.
Mm.
And I'm actually interested by all of these movies. It is a pretty good week for theaters.
Good God. What in the world's Homefront?
Homefront is the one with Jason Statham, who has his daughter or whatever that gets bullied, and it has James Franco. Yeah.
Oh, James Franco and cliche Statham plot.
But it seemed different. It seemed a lot darker. It seemed
Statham protecting a little girl. That's every single Statham movie.
Well, I know, but it seems a lot darker and it seems a lot more dramatic than his usual foray into action stuff.
James Franco sucks.
What?
I don't like James Franco.
You don't like James Franco?
I don't like James Franco.
I mean, he's enjoyable.
No, he's not. I don't like his acting.
Wow. Talk
Yeah.
about pretentious douche.
I know. Well, he is. So
God damn it. Okay, so
you can't tell me he's not.
that's true. Well, if he acts, well, he's a that's true. Yeah.
In the movie, in the end, this is the end. He acted like James Franco. James Franco acted like James Franco. Like, which was kind of the point, but they're supposed to play cartoon versions on themselves, and the only one that didn't was James Franco. So, besides the whole weird love for Rogan.
That's true.
No, I'm going to go see Frozen on Wednesday.
Yep. I am.
My cousin wants to go see it. Well, actually, I want to go see it, and I asked my cousin, like, do you want to go see Frozen on Wednesday? And she's like, what's that? And my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, you've never heard of Frozen? The new Disney movie that critics are calling amazing? Yeah.
How old is your cousin?
20.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will be talking about Frozen next week.
Yeah.
So tune in for that one.
Okay, anyway, movie news.
So
movies.
what the hell was that? That was like a newscaster report sound thing.
Yeah, no, it's the news, so no duh.
Oh, it's early.
It's noon.
Shut up. Okay.
All right, what news do you have?
So my news is that the new Star Wars release date makes Abrams happy
Okay.
because
It's just a picture of him smiling next to a calendar.
Well, it's just because of the fact that they tried to get Star Wars to be moved back to 2016 because Star Wars was usually released in May. All of the Star Wars were basically released in May, and J.J. Abrams tried to get it pushed back along with the producer all the way over to 2016, May 2016. And they couldn't do it, but Disney sort of met them halfway at December 18th. They wanted to craft a good movie, and they needed more time to do that, and I am totally okay with that, and I'm glad that J.J. Abrams is happy with the fact that they moved the date back, and I hope he can make a good movie. I really do.
Okay.
Okay, your turn.
Rob Cohen will direct the remake of Roadhouse.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, they're remaking Roadhouse.
So wait, they're remaking Roadhouse.
Roadhouse is getting a remake. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the Roadhouse remake, so...
Yeah. The man who directed 2001 Fast and Furious will be directing Roadhouse. MGM is making Roadhouse. He's also the director of such movies as Stealth, XXX, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
So he directed crap, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Roadhouse. So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. So hopefully he does a good job with Roadhouse.
Yeah, I think Roadhouse will be a fine movie.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, it'll be garbage.
It will definitely be garbage. Oh, God. Okay. So my bit of news is that Elizabeth Olsen from Kill Your Darlings...
It's in Roadhouse!
No. And Aaron Taylor Johnson, the lead in Kick-Ass, are confirmed to be people or superheroes in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Nice.
So...
Is it Kick-Ass? That would be sweet.
Yeah, it's Kick-Ass, yeah.
I know, but would Kick-Ass be in an Avengers movie?
I don't think that would fit in.
I haven't seen the second one yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
I should see that. It'll probably be on Netflix.
Yeah, it got bad reviews, which is sad.
I know, but I still want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it. The first one was so good. But yeah, so that's exciting.
Are you excited about Age of Ultron, by the way?
I'm interested. Color me intrigued. I want to see what'll happen.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. So Fox Searchlight developing Tolkien biopic. So J.R.R. Tolkien is getting a movie about J.R.R. Tolkien, directed by J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm just kidding. It's a movie about the author of Lord of the Rings, which will essentially just be him writing a book.
I don't think the Tolkien estate likes this idea very much.
Tolkien's probably really upset. Is he dead?
Yes, he is. But the Tolkien estate, the people that have all of the rights for all of this stuff, and they're notoriously awful about stuff like this. So I can imagine that they're not very pleased.
Yeah, I think if they do it right.
It could be a Lincoln-style movie.
Yeah, totally, but not as good as that because that was amazing.
Daniel Day-Lewis playing Tolkien.
I could see that actually.
I mean, he's a great actor.
He is. I agree.
If he plays it, it's just like, shut up and take my Oscars.
It probably won't be as good as Roadhouse, but
Right.
it'll.
Okay, so I got one that says The House at the End of the Street director, Mark Tonderai, is going to direct a Day of the Dead remake. Yay.
Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
As in
Because you have
zombies or like
zombies. It's
Días de Muertos.
no.
Dia de las Muertes.
No, it's the zombie one. It's
Okay.
because you have Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the
Yep.
Dead, and then Day of the Dead.
What happened in the original?
In the original Day of the Dead, that was the one where they were all hidden. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed Day of the Dead. They were in the military base, and they were trying to survive, studying all of the zombies and whatnot. And then they were starting to realize that the zombies could learn.
Okay. Yeah, well, there's the 1985 version by Romero.
That's it.
There's the one with the military base, and then there's also a 2008 Day of the Dead.
Yeah, they remade it.
When a small Colorado town is overrun by the flesh-hungry dead, a small group of survivors try to escape in a last-ditch effort to stay alive, which exactly sounds like the plot of Resident Evil 2.
No, that sounds exactly like the plot of every 420 in Boulder.
Except it's not for flesh-hungry dead, it's for like Chiba Hut hungry dead.
Exactly.
Yo, man.
All of the franchises try to run away in a last-ditch effort to survive.
Man. Taco Bell. Man. But seriously, that is the exact plot of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, it
A
is.
small Colorado town is overrun by zombies.
Yep. But the original one
So
is good.
they're probably gonna do the military base one, I assume, right?
I'm assuming it is, yeah, because the original one was good. It was a good movie. It was
Are we done with zombies yet?
very creepy. No, we're not. Apparently not.
I mean, zombies are fine, but I'm getting kind of tired of them.
Right. All right. Any more news to share?
I'm pregnant. No, I don't have anything.
No. Okay. Well, that's good.
Oh, Anchorman 2 might have two versions of the movie.
Oh, right, because of all the cuts that they had. Yeah, because they mostly did a lot of, obviously, since it's basically a sketch comedy, they did a lot of takes for a lot of stuff. So they have a bunch of different cuts and a bunch of different scenes that may or may not go into the film. It depends.
Apparently, there's also a movie called Wake Up Ron Burgundy, which essentially was like extra film to
the original Anchorman.
Yeah, which essentially it's about like thieves, better known as the alarm clock, try to make the truth known.
Huh.
It's like a complete subplot. It was like apparently it was like a revolution that was happening at the same time on American soil.
What?
Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah.
The first Anchorman was surprisingly expansive, and they cut it down to a comedy, which is fine. It was funny. But I have a feeling maybe they did the same thing with this one, so it's the same people.
Right.
So.
Yeah, probably.
What do you think of Anchorman 2? You excited for it?
I don't know. It seems funny, but it also seems like it's just the same type of stuff. You know, when I kind of wanted something a little bit different. I want you to expand on stuff. I want you to move on. I don't know. I also don't like Will Ferrell movies, so.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't.
Talladega Nights is okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed Talladega Nights, and I enjoyed Anchorman, but I did not like any. I don't like Will Ferrell's comedy. I don't like it. I don't know why.
I don't like Kicking and Screaming. I don't like Step Brothers, but that's really all he has, right?
Elf.
Oh, Elf is fine.
Yeah.
I watched it again. I was like, this is acceptable, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't like the other guys. Yeah. He's in the Lego movie.
Yeah, I know.
He's president business.
Okay, so anyway, with that out of the way, I think we're done, right? Right?
Yeah, let's high five.
What?
Done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I guess I high-fived him. So,
yeah, we're in the same room.
Yeah, thank you all very much for tuning into this episode of PostGrad Movies. You can
Gobble gobble. I hope you're stuffed full of wonderful movie news. Let's put some cranberry sauce on that one, because it's done.
I'm glad that in the beginning we said it was the Thanksgiving special. Totally didn't allude to it at all throughout the entire episode, and then in the end we're like gobble gobble, mother, you know.
I'm glad you self-edited yourself, you stupid
It's gonna sound really funny because it's gonna sound like I totally censored what we said.
I know. You mother.
You filthy son of a, you piece of
So stupid.
Okay, so anyway.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble, mother. So
Go eat your turkey, you fat son of a.
you have to add the K. You have to add the K sound in the end. You have to be like, you stupid mother. God. Okay, we're done. So you can follow me on Twitter.
What? I was getting warmed up.
You can follow me on Twitter at the Right Pad, and you can follow him on Twitter as well at the Cognitive Gamer.
I don't really tweet much. It's really bad. I should tweet more.
He should tweet more, but you don't want him to tweet more because you know it's gonna suck. But you know, it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, probably.
And you also have blogs and stuff, and we have a YouTube channel.
No. If you want to read more about Catching Fire, please find me on electricfeast.com. Electricfeast.com. I'm the Cognitive Gamer. Just search for it. My review should still be on the front page. Pretty much I just go into detail about how it's a good movie. You could also find my blog on IGN where I talk about video games, and then our YouTube channel is chock full of awesome videos about video games.
Right, and also the old podcast that you can't find on Podomatic or iTunes as well. Those podcasts have a really cool function where if you go to the description, you can click to jump ahead to certain sections so that you can, if you decide not to hear our stupid rambles in the beginning, you can check it out. So, yes.
Wait, you shouldn't skip our stupid rambles. That's probably the most intelligent, most profound conversation you'll have all week. Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
So on that note, we will end the podcast. So thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you or hear from you at some point. You can email us at postgradentertainment@gmail.com if you want to get into contact with us, or suggest a Netflix movie, which Flypaper was one. Put us through the motions. We should watch more crappy movies and laugh about them. And the Cognitive Gamer will thank you. So
that's a turkey wrap.
Oh, God. So thank you very much, and we will see you next week.
Now I'm hungry.